Brothers, ladies, gentlemen, have a good day. God bless you all. And I greet you all too. Mr. President, Republic of Turkey, His Excellency Erdogan said, "We will not be stubborn but stand tall." His voice reflects the state mentality, a fighting tactic. Turkey's stance had we not stood tall, the Gezi Park terror events and July 15 invasion attempt would have been successful. A geopolitical map is being drawn in the Mediterranean. Turkey will intervene in this map. We are going to stand tall, not be stubborn. The Igbo statement by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan determines the outline, route and destination of the path Turkey is taking. It determines a state mind, reflects fighting tactic and stance against the storms brewing in our region and the world. This statement forms the main axis of Turkey's state philosophy. It expresses principle from internal policy to the economy, from its security policy to foreign policy, and economic defense line. This capline area is over. We see this principle in the economic attacks coming our way from abroad. Turkey is not stepping back. It is not kneeling in fear of the pressures. It is resisting, seeking its repeatedly opening new doors and turning towards new markets. The method to this keep line a country through sanctions or attacks has failed because of this principle. If we soften up, step back, this will result not in the recovery of the economy, but with our country being taken hostage and wasted. Destruction is going to be prepared, and we are aware of this. Based on this, an economic defense line, a resistance line is being formed, while compliance axis changes are being made in the country. To this end, efforts are being made to fill the void resulting from the global trade war. They would have us begging for the patriots. They were going to leave us defenseless. That was their goal. Action in the defense field is also being taken based on the "we are going to stand tall, not be stubborn" principle. Turkey did not backtrack with respect to the S-400 air defense system, despite all the United States pressure, despite all of Europe or NATO's pressures, despite all the pressures of the internal front. Through the S-400 discussion has become an internal policy issue, it has turned into an issue with the anti-Western world intervening. Turkey continues to stand tall. Those components of the S-400s have arrived and will continue to do so, had attention been paid to those causing fear within the country, had the sanctions trace been heeded, this process would have long been over, and Turkey would have still been begging for patriot muzzles in European capitals today. They were not going to supply them or transfer technology, and our country was let me say again, had attention been paid to those causing for within the country, had the sanctions trace been heeded, this process would have long been over, and Turkey would have still been begging for patriot muzzles in European capitals today. They were not to supply them or transfer technology, and our country was going to be left defenseless from the north of Syria, from the East Mediterranean and the Aegean, because this is their goal. Because we saw on July 15 in the broadest form that this is their aim, to leave Turkey defenseless. Those causing fear within, questioning, are we going to clash with the United States, are part of the siege. We saw the standing tall but not being stubborn issue in the north of Syria as well. The most extensive project by the United States and its allies to siege Turkey was implemented in this region. The terror corridor spanning the Iranian border and the Mediterranean was really a Turkey front, and hundreds of kilometers long extraordinary build-ups were established on Syrian territory. Efforts were made with the help of internal partners to prevent Turkey from intervening in this zone. The Turkey side of the zone was secured through FETÖ terrorist organization commanders prior to July 15. There were those rising fear, questioning, we are going to clash with the United States, but Turkey stood upright, and the gate of the terror zone leading to the Mediterranean was closed with the EU Fleet Shield and Afrin operation. Now the east door is being closed off with operations such as Claw. Turkey is once again going to maintain its upright stance, and the terror zone, whose two doors are closed off, is going to be collapsed from a new areas. Wait and see then who will get on the ground and raise fear on behalf of the United States and the PKK terrorist organization and confuse minds. A geopolitical map is being drawn in the Mediterranean. Turkey will intervene in this map. We are now watching in action the standing tall but not being stubborn principle in the East Mediterranean now. Those trying to siege us from the north of Syria expanded the siege as far as the Mediterranean. Almost all Western countries brought battleships of the East Mediterranean. Besides the natural gas negotiation, drilling crisis, overt and covert deals, all these countries established a joint front against Turkey. As a matter of fact, beyond energy, a geopolitical map is being drawn. Turkey never backtracked despite being isolated. It too started drilling operations. It sent its seismic ships and drill ship to the region and launched operation. This front networked by the United States and Israel, in which countries of the region also joined in on, turning the Aegean islands into muzzle bases, their military drills, their guests for sanctions were not enough to frighten Turkey. Turkey decided to send a fourth vessel to the region against the weak sanction decision the EU took the other day. Furthermore, the United States has twice now cancelled its press conference for the sanction decision against Turkey. They may also decide to impose sanctions. This is expected. However, this will not tone down Turkey either, because this is what it means to stand tall. Had we not stood tall, but the Gezi Park terror events and July 15 invasion attempts were going to be successful, had Erdogan this close circle his team and the millions that marched shoulder to shoulder with him not stood tall, the government would have been overthrown and Turkey would be given hostage to the EU by the Gezi Park terror. Had they not stood tall, had they been tentative and softened up the December 17 and 25, 2013 coup attempt, the July 15, 2016, and had we softened up, covered, been unsettled, and taken a begging position, terrorism would have been striking the whole country more heavily today with the great foreign support. Had we surrendered our will to the Atlantic Circle, FETÖ and the PKK would have been establishing a joint administration in Turkey today. Our country would have been dragged to a great collapse once more a century later. Had we not stood tall, Turkey would not have been able to realize the great rise achieved in the last decade and would be begging today, would be begging today for money at the doors of the West. Had we not stood tall, our country would not have been able to move anywhere in the south from the Iranian border to the Aegean. Had we not stood tall, governments would come and go in this period, one after the other. Internal instability would have reached its peak. All interventions from the West would have had great impact and Turkey would have been shredded to pieces. You will stand tall, but not be stubborn. You will not soften up or be oppressed. Your fists will be clenched. You will draw your strength from these lands and this nation. You are going to proceed to the future by moving through the depth of history. You will not share the fear of those who do not draw their strength from this land. You are going to know that the great showdown that started a century later is fate, and that this threshold can be overcome solely through resistance. You are going to know the mentality behind those unleashed on the field against this resistance and the kind of Turkey they dream of and for which they make plans. Regardless of the storm's direction, the course of history has already changed. Regardless of the whatever happens from now on, regardless of the storms brewing, you are going to be aware that they can all be overcome solely by fighting without crying, weaning, begging, and kneeling. We saw this in the north of Syria. We are seeing it now, and we continue to see it in the economic struggle. We see it in the East Mediterranean. We saw it in the S-400 Muslims issue, and we are going to see it in future in the sanctions. This is all because we are confronting the century-long siege, the century-long struggle, the century-long showdown, the century-long challenge. Regardless of how hard the winds blow, this path is going to be trade. The internal and external waves of attacks are going to be resisted, and this country is going to overcome it all. We know it will, because the course of history has already changed it. We know that nobody can stop this rise. If we beg for mercy, we will be devastated. Leaders will resist, people will march. If we beg, plead for mercy, we will shrink and be devastated. We are aware of this too. We are in time in which force spoil the game. It is not us alone. The whole world is going through such a period. We have no choice but to invest in power and determination. This is what Turkey is doing. This is how it is going to continue. As long as the leaders stand upright, as long as the state stands upright, as long as those running the power domain stands upright, so will the people, because our millennium old history and on Anatolian lands is based on this philosophy, this political legacy or legacy. Thank you very much for listening and your kind attention, and God bless you all, dear my brothers and sisters. Thank you very much.